have been created. Both. Here, let me zoom out. Now that both sides are created, both the arm bracer piece and the metal piece, I'm going to attach this onto here, which I'm not sure how difficult it will be. Of course, this thing can move back and forth, so the end might be a tiny bit sharp. Same thing with this. Okay, this is definitely going to be sharp, but ignoring that part, it should be fine enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this pillow right here. I actually made this pillow a while ago when I was learning how to sew. I'm just going to drape it over like this. Then I'm going to set this on top, then sort of position it how I want it to go. So just like that. Because it's got an inner groove, I'm just going to press it in sort of like this. And now from here, what I'm going to do is sort of hold the piece on there, slide this pillow to the left. And there. Now that I've got that on there just like that, I'll just roll this off. And I figured out a way to connect this. I've got these small little eyelets, or I forget the name of these, but I'm going to be adding these into there. And well, the zip tie, if you look at this, just barely, like I'm scraping some of the plastic up as I'm pushing this through. There we go. But I'm going to be connecting this right by this. Also, while all this was happening, I actually finished, I made this real fast. I was trying to figure out how to harden leather, and then I realized this was a not actual type of leather. Unlike this is actual leather, this is not. So I just did a stitch so I can hold my knife into place. Sort of like that. Or I can put it on the edge like that. It's sort of just you wrap leather around it and then you sew through once you've removed it and made the mark. Now, to add this eyelet to well, here. I'm going to do it with these, simply because I hope it will be easier. And as you can see, I've got this piece over, and right here where these pieces are, I'm going to then try to make it just across from it. Okay, that is really not cutting. Time to pull out this. Just put it right there and push into the ground. App. Pricked myself with it. And just a small injury, nothing big. There we go. Now that that's added, something sort of like this is what I'm going to add. The only problem is it's not actually coming through. Keep in mind, this video is being made over multiple weeks, so it's a tiny bit difficult to stay focused on one project. Reason why I made this sleeve for the thing. And soon I'm going to be trying to find a background. Okay. I'm so close to being able to get this eyelet in. And then I'm just going to use the tool on it immediately. There we go. pops right in. Took a hot minute. Like a very, very cold minute, but I got it there. And now I'm just going to use this manual eyelet tool. Okay, this might be a tiny bit of an issue. Here. I'll just do it like this. Align that on the inside. Fold the fabric in a tiny bit, and then... Ow, my arm. Okay, that didn't fully work, so I'm going to retry that. This time, I'm going to be pressing my hand into the ground so that I can actually get a full clamp. Right there you can see it worked partially, but not fully. Okay, that should hold, hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna have to hit that with a hammer really, really hard. So that's not fully in. However, now we're gonna add a corresponding one just a little bit across. Make a hole there. Add the eyelet right in. Okay, I tried to expand that a tiny amount, but that's not really working. I'm just gonna have to try to pull the eyelet through. I really need a better eyelet tool. This works, but it might just not work for certain leather types. Just like this, I'll be feeding the zip tie right through. And it's going to be immediately, well, no, not immediately, but once you pull the zip tie almost completely through, you're going to now set the armor piece on top, sort of like this. Feed it right through the gap in the armor in the most woven in place you can. Remember, this is not rocket science. Does not have to be exact. It just has to be mostly in there. Now we're going to run the zip tie right through here. Pushing it through as much as we can on the other side to give it as much room to be able to pull. Now, as we drape this through here, you're going to find the next closest loop. Just pop it right up and through. And right into the next eyelet. Sorry if you cannot see that. Really glad I stole these pliers from my sibling. right here I forgot to notice I put the arm guard on inverted, so I had to undo and redo this entire process. Okay, so now I realized my mistake. I went back and I fixed it. So now once I actually put this on, well, let's see. What does this look like once it's actually been put on? A warning, you might want to melt down the zip ties once they've actually been attached, because they are quite sharp on the inside. Another thing you might want to watch out for is you might want to like have somebody else help you put these on. Now, take a look at that. Just based off of these leather straps, it holds it on nice and firm. Overall, I think this is working really well. Change mind, I'm not going to do it at all. So now, just like this, I think that works quite well, and this looks pretty cool. One of the benefits is that, another thing is that these are not meant for intended fighting, but if they are, oh yeah, remember when we added the flexibility to this? What happens is that when I go to bend up my arm, it also bends inwards with that. Okay, and now I just added a light coat of spray paint because it was a tiny bit too bright and shiny. Then I did this. I held this up to it to sort of finish burning off any of the excess alcohol that was within the whatchamacallit, in the spray paint. I just used this Rust-Oleum. You can see the things. Ignore my garage, it's messy with random materials from other projects. But this is where I'm to cut this project off. I actually got this just right there a tiny bit with I got that right there a tiny bit with the spray paint. Ignoring that though, I think I might have gotten a tiny bit on the actual leather. But ignoring that part, this is where I'm ending the video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment down below, do all the fun stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. I think I'm gonna make a crossbow or something.